StudyIQ IAS, आपका सिलेक्शन हमारा मिशन।
हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू दिस सेकेंड एपिसोड ऑफ इंसिग्निया। जी हाँ, आपका स्वागत है इंसिग्निया के सेकेंड एपिसोड में। आप सबको पता होगा कि टेक्नोलॉजी यानी कि टेक्नोलॉजी का कितना भारी इम्पैक्ट हो सकता है हमारे दिनचर्या पर, हमारे कार्य पर। इट कैन रियली इम्पैक्ट आवर लाइव्स, इट कैन इम्पैक्ट गवर्नेंस। So we thought we'll get over somebody who can explain to us how technologies are evolving and how will they impact our lives, our professional lives, our personal lives, and what we should be careful for. So with us we have today Mr. Anurag Goyal, a seasoned, well-known civil servant of the year. He retired in 2009, is that right, sir? Yes. 2009 he retired. He belongs to the 1972 batch of Indian Administrative Service. He has held many assignments. If I do that list, I think the show would be over. And he's done some wonderful things. But he has also been Principal Secretary to the Chief Minister of UP, Mr. Kalyan Singh. Thereafter, he was Secretary in the Ministry of Company Affairs. And apart from that, he's going all around the country, all over the world, talking about the impact of technology. And also, which is popularly known as artificial intelligence. So, sir, if you permit, I would first like to understand, what is artificial intelligence? It is really artificial or something real about it?
What is artificial intelligence? A very good point, a very good beginning point. So, is it intelligent?
That of course is the first point.
And the second is it artificial? Now, that takes you to the next question. What is intelligence? Now, intelligence is something, the ability to learn, to adapt, to solve problems, to take decisions, or simply put, you can simply say, process information for some purpose, useful purpose. Now, by this definition, artificial intelligence is intelligence. Now, let me give you a cricketing analogy. A calculator is like a scoreboard. It keeps runs, overs, all these things, simple numbers. A computer is like a third empire. It can play back, it can analyze what's happening, it can put a number of things. But AI is different. AI is something like, it's an analyst. It would tell you what would the swing in a ball based on the speed, the spin, the pitch, even the history of the bowler, multiple wind, multiple factors. So the number of variables it handles, or the speed at which it handles, is something amazing. So it's obviously intelligent. Now that is established. Is it artificial? I would say yes and no. Yes, because it's not natural. We have made it. Nature hasn't made it. So it's not natural. But it delivers. When you use Google Map, it tells you the way. When you use ChatGPT, it answers. So it's functioning, it's delivering. So it is real. It's not artificial. So you can answer it anyway. But personally, I think of artificial intelligence in very different terms.
So you've done it so well. You've taken cricket analogy, and if I take it further, it looks, as you rightly said, it looks at a number of dimensions that impact movement of a ball. So, for example, calculator were primarily two-dimensional, 2 into 2 is equal to 4, multiplying. Computers looked at slightly more 3 or 4 dimensions. AI looks at multiple dimensions. So, if a ball is being thrown, then the speed of the ball, the speed of the wind, that is the shape of the wall, the shape of the seam, how it is landing on the ground, the impact on the ground, all these factors will take into account, and that is where artificial intelligence helps you to tell the future projection of the ball, where it will go.
Yes.
So the difference really is in the multi-dimensionality of the aspect that is being considered, as well as the ability to predict the future, taking into account these multiple inputs, unlike a calculator or a computer, which could not look into such multiple dimensions and could not account for the humongous data that exists in determining the future of course of action of any movement. Is my understanding correct?
You're right. Let me take a next step. People, and if we explore the question of how it will impact work, jobs, and all that. The thing is, the fundamental difference in all technologies so far, that they were technologies to be used by human beings. AI doesn't need that. AI is intelligent. I mean, if someday if you have a discussion on what it is, it's a different species altogether. I don't want to get there now. But it is intelligent. It learns on its own, it can grow on its own, it can do everything on its own. So there's a fundamental difference. It's not only projecting.
That's
it can be very, very scary, and we will talk about it at some point of time.
Yeah.
It can be very, very scary, and rightly so. So what I'm saying is the fundamental difference is not only projection of the future. The fundamental difference is it is self-contained and its own. It can go on. It's just developing another 3 years, and you see what's going to happen, and we'll talk about it. So that is the thing, and that is why I don't call it artificial intelligence. I call it never before intelligence.
Okay. So if I may ask you more specifically, what are the terms in which you think of artificial intelligence? The various dimensions.
Okay. Let me use the term never before intelligence. Now what it does, which others didn't. First, and this part other machines can also do, it can do things very fast. It can improve. It's like a supercharger. Let me put it this way. It's like I think of it as a supercharger. If I answer your question, it's like a supercharger. It supercharges you. So whatever you are doing today, you do it at different speed. And I'll give you an example. My wife is an excellent cook. She gives me delicious idli dosa any time of the day, and she has been making it for the last 40 years. For the first 30 years, she used the old. I don't know whether you've seen those South Indian big things and all, stone. So it's a lot of hard labor, and you needed a maid. You couldn't do it yourself and all that. 10 years back, she bought an electric mixer grinder. And what? It was 10 minutes, 10 times the speed, and 1/10 the effort. So instead of 20 minutes, it took 2 minutes. Instead of so much effort, 1/10 of the effort. So she got supercharged, as cooking is supercharged. So that is one kind of thing. Now, other is more interesting. It can help you do things which you otherwise can't do. Somebody asked me a few months back, some railway officers, you talk so much about AI and all that. Can you give me a plan for Indian Railways? I said, yes, I can. Next day, I gave an excellent plan for 10 years for Indian Railways. And when they saw all aspects, technology, finances, human resources, structuring, the whole lot, I know nothing about railways, except of course as a passenger. But with the help of AI tools, I could. So that is the kind of thing. But something more interesting. I can make films and videos with AI. And I would like to show your audience what I could do with this, a 2-minute video clip, which will also incidentally give another dimension of the life and the future, because we talked of future. It will show you a working woman today and in 2030 and see the difference for yourself.
2025. The daily struggle, the alarm blares. Priya groans, snoozes it twice. She grabs her phone, emails, news, social media. The blue light strains her eyes. She rushes through her morning, manually making coffee, wasting time picking an outfit. Already running late. Stuck in traffic, scrolling endlessly. Another headline about AI taking jobs. She sighs and keeps scrolling. Work is exhausting, sorting emails, long meetings, hours spent on reports. Deadlines pile up, overtime feels inevitable. At home, too tired to cook, she orders takeout. Netflix plays in the background, but she keeps checking emails. Mindlessly scrolling, still feeling disconnected. Restless, overwhelmed, unable to sleep. Another exhausting day ahead. This is life in 2025, 2030. The AI-optimized life. Priya wakes up refreshed. AI tracks her sleep, waking her at the perfect time. The room adjusts automatically, lighting, temperature, even a morning playlist. As she gets ready, a smart mirror updates her schedule. AI selects her outfit. In the kitchen, a custom breakfast is prepared just for her. No emails. No stress. AI has already handled it. Her self-driving taxi is waiting. No traffic worries. Instead of scrolling, she relaxes, AI organizing her day in the background. At work, AI sorts emails, drafts reports, and schedules meetings efficiently. Augmented reality glasses connect her with global teams. Productivity soars. No overtime. At home, dinner is ready. AI adjusts the ambiance, curates a workout. Instead of scrolling, she connects with friends in a metaverse cafe. No stress. No distractions. Just balance. This is life in 2030. Life is easier, but is she still in control? AI shapes her choices, filters what she sees, what she eats, what she does. It knows her better than she knows herself. The future is coming. Are we ready?
So that's wonderful. The film actually brings out various aspects of intelligence, and probably, as I said earlier, a bit scary as well. But sir, what is the best way to understand artificial intelligence? And is AI difficult to understand?
I think best to start with your smartphone. It is an AI lab actually. You're carrying it in your pocket. So just take it out, take a selfie. What will happen? A much better version of Anil Swarup you will see because the AI is at work. You send so many WhatsApp messages. Type out before you do, it corrects you this thing and all this. This is AI at work. Go next step. Start observing what's happening. In fact, you examine all the features of a mobile camera, its voice assistant, a whole lot of stuff. And you will see AI everywhere. It's recording everything you're doing. It's helping you make decisions which you're not aware of. A lot of it, and that's the scary part. A lot of it is happening below the surface. You are not. You think you bought a particular book. Well, think that.
No, I've suffered on that account. I just typed out something on Google that I wanted to visit a particular country, and sure enough, thereafter, I was flooded with messages on how to go there. Absolutely. It couldn't happen otherwise.
Oh, yes, and if you're talking of that, drive to a mall. Right. On the way, you'll find these traffic signals. At different times of the day, they will be different gap because AI is adjusting it to the traffic. When you enter, the cameras, scanners, all of them are noticing you, checking you, and all that stuff is going on. You walk in. What will play on the digital screen, the big screen that you see there? It's all, everything there. You go to the movie hall there. Now, when you book the ticket, the AI might have guided you to this particular movie or to the best seat. In fact, today in life, if you actually start noticing and going around, why it's happening, who's doing it, I think you start understanding not AI and how it does it, but certainly what AI is.
Wonderful, wonderful. Sir, I heard something called agentic AI. What do you make out of it? I just read it somewhere.
Wow, that's something very exciting. You know what's happening? AI is moving very, very fast. It actually explains to you the meaning of the word exponential. You know, I am very fond of using the word exponential in terms of exponential technologies, exponential area in which we are living. What is exponential? If you walk 30 linear steps, how far do you get? 30 steps. If you walk 30 exponential steps, how far do you think?
I'm not a mathematician, but it would be difficult to calculate.
Well, if you're a mathematician, it will be 1 billion. But if you're a common person, you can go around the earth 26 times. Now, why I'm saying that? Technology and AI is part of them. They're all exponential technology. They're all converging today. So, recently this year, something has come which is called agentic AI. Now, agentic AI is great. I wanted to go to Goa and I wanted to do my trip in less than 30,000 rupees. So I told the AI travel planner. It booked the tickets for me. It fixes the hotels, it fixes the sightseeing.
Within 30,000?
30,000.
Within 30,000, everything done?
Yeah. Then obviously, it will not be 5-star hotels that you stay in. It won't be a limousine that you'll travel in. The point is, AI shopper. I said, look, I want a present for my sister. Bought, ordered, tracked delivery, reported to me, it's been delivered. See, what I'm saying is, agentic AI, very simply, is something you give a task, it will do the due diligence, it will plan, it will execute, in the process, whatever decisions are to be taken, whatever instructions are to be given, it will do all of that. It will deliver you.
So life will become easy with that.
I don't know, Anil. I don't know. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you. In the next 3 to 5 years, you will have billions of these agents in the world, more than the population of the world, they say. Okay, you will have an AI, agentic AI, I'll have an AI agent. And what is going to happen?
They'll fight with each other.
No, they will handle everything. If I and you fight, they will fight. But if we are very good friends, so they will not fight.
Okay.
They will fix things to the extent that if you want to make a project, they will make the project. They will together make a project. Then your agent knows you, my agent knows you, they'll make a project.
So, sir, what this brings me to is artificial intelligence creating something new, or it is only remixing the data, analyzing the existing data? Is it creation? Is it leading to creation?
Good question. Good question. It starts by mixing, but the end product can be totally new. I'll give you, let's take an example. This film that you have seen, the video, it wasn't there earlier. You saw it, something totally new. I could even claim an IPR on it, which is given only for new things. It is new. So, you need to feed data to AI. Without that, it can't do anything. But there are two aspects to this. One is AI itself creating this data, because whatever the product is itself a data. You see, if it creates an image, if it creates a film, that is data by itself.
No, but created out of an existing data, or it is creating new data?
Coming to that. And that is one of the scary parts. It can create data out of nowhere. You have heard this word hallucination. What is hallucination? In the human sense, it was different. When data hallucinates, it can create a world which doesn't exist. There have been court cases. In US, there was a court case, very interesting. The lawyer quoted a case which didn't exist. But it was so complete, everything, it looked perfect. So it can create data, it can create new things, and as you go along, you will see much more of it.
So, I mean, I'm continuously getting scared with what you're telling me. What do you think is going to be the impact in various sectors of AI on various sectors?
Okay, at two levels. The impact at, the impact at one level, as you see in day-to-day life, is simpler. Let's take healthcare. Healthcare will be completely disrupted. Agentic AI you mentioned, China has made an agentic hospital. It has all AI with minimum human supervision. So doctor are AI, the nurses which are robotic AI, and it's managing. And it has all the knowledge in the world on medical side. So it can do things better. So imagine a healthcare sector where you have the assistance, and I'm particularly using the word assistance, but it does things so fast. It can read. You know, you must have read the news last week that a surgeon in Gurgaon is sitting there, did an operation, robotic operation, in Hyderabad on a 16-month-old baby. Another friend of mine was saying, you know, AI detected something in the heart or in the X-ray or whichever of these diagnostic reports, which he could not have, or maybe he would have missed. So, healthcare sector, this is only I'm saying one thing, but healthcare sector will be disrupted in a very positive way. I don't want to talk about the negative side. There's a lot of negative side, which is possible, but I don't want to scare you more. Education sector. I'll show you something which is an AI avatar. It's an expert on AI. Right? It's been created with AI tools. So I would like you to ask some questions on AI. Okay? Yeah.
Which will be the next Indian government in 2029?
Oh, this is not an AI question.
I thought I'll somehow pull a bouncer at AI.
No, I don't even want it to answer it.
Okay.
Because
someone may lose his job.
No, you want to hear the answer?
Okay, let's look at the answer.
Certainly. Feel free to ask any AI-related questions you have, and I will provide you with clear and practical information relevant to India.
Okay, so what are the threats that you perceive on account of AI to Indian economy?
The primary threats of AI to the Indian economy include job displacement in routine and manual sectors, as AI automation may reduce demand for low-skilled labor, and the risk of algorithmic bias leading to unfair outcomes in areas like credit scoring or hiring. However, AI also creates new opportunities for skilled jobs and innovation, so the focus should be on managing the transition and upskilling the workforce.
Thank you very much. So now that he raised this point, if it's okay with you, I'd like to discuss the opportunities and threats as a consequence of evolution of artificial intelligence, both in India and elsewhere in the world. What are some of them you explained earlier on how life will become much more convenient to people. It's already impacting lives of many people. But what are the other opportunities that are available as a consequence of evolution of AI, and then obviously the threats thereof?
See, opportunities are in every field, because what's going to happen is, I mentioned healthcare, I mentioned education, you take finance, you take banking, you take retail, you take agriculture, everywhere, because AI is going to be everywhere with time. It will take time. And in urban areas, it will happen first. People who are more educated will use it first. But this is going to impact everywhere. So whether it is jobs, and one of the impacts, of course, will be, it also mentioned, is going to be possible loss of jobs, which is something we can look at separately also. You need to specifically see the sector in which you are interested. If you are interested in manufacturing, it will tell you about that. It's not as if it is a single thing. I don't look at AI as a thing apart. No.
So what I'm trying to understand is that even if you look at a few sectors, select sectors, and understand the possible opportunities and threats, the audience that is watching this are youngsters who are looking at their lives ahead, and they would like to understand that this monster or this angel called artificial intelligence has already arrived and likely to grow. How is it going to impact them, and what sort of a preparedness that they should have in terms of handling that monster or angel, whatever you may call it?
Okay. It was a very good question and well put. Now let me divide it into two parts. First part, many in your audience are thinking of their careers. So let us first look at the impact on work. And let us see not now, but over the years as they come. So what happens when you ask ChatGPT to do something? It writes an email. Agentic AI gives an order, takes a decision. So everywhere that you are using AI is something a human being would have done. So this is the starting point. AI will do something which today a human being is doing.
Thereby replacing the human being.
Thereby replacing or taking away part of the work that humans are doing. So that is the starting point of jobs. So then you see what is going to happen over a period of time. More and more things AI will be able to do. And what are the things it will be able to do and over a period of time? Some things you are already seeing, so I will not mention them. But let me mention the next step. In next 3 to 5 years, AI will develop into what is called artificial general intelligence. But very simply put, AI will be more intelligent than humans.
And when you say that, what exactly do you mean? More intelligent?
What do you mean when you say human is intelligent? You have an IQ thing, you have many things, you have, of course, EQ is a separate thing. But essentially, what is intelligence again? Ability to learn, to adapt, to solve problems, analyze and take decisions. And then humans act on that.
And also create, as you said now.
And yes, and create, of course. In fact, it's a very good distinction. So creating what? I mentioned one kind of creation, but you're creating a piece of art.
Yeah, a piece of art, music, all that can be created.
Now, all that also will be impacted by whatever, because AI is making an inroad into areas which actually you thought you don't. But let us for the moment say, where so-called intelligence, which is measured by IQ, so whatever was measured by IQ, that will be taken over by AI. And since at least the IQ portion of AI is more better than you, what job will you do? And then you will have robots. So that physical part also you can do. So what is it that you will do? You will do things which only humans can do.
Yeah.
And
what is left for human beings?
What is left for human beings? Because that is what is essentially human. Now, why did I say hospital, health and education sectors where humans will always be there? Because you need nurses. You need to talk to a doctor. You need that comfort. Understanding the feelings, a psychiatrist. All those require human beings, but a major part will go.
But sir, you touch upon a very important aspect. If I understood you correctly, the physical part or the intellectual part will be taken care of by AI. But the emotional part or the psychological part will still have to be taken by human beings. Is my understanding correct?
Yes. The second part is correct. But even in the first part, there are many things. For instance, an AI robot can take a baby, but it can't replace the mother. So it is going to be not a very cut and dried thing. But the fact remains that as we go, the teacher, now you can say, I've shown you the AI tutor, this is a very, very basic rudimentary version which I made. And I'm no great shakes in all these things. But teachers, the mentorship, the human values, all that only a human teacher will teach. While factory worker, the moment it becomes cost effective, and that's the important thing. So all those jobs can go, and even the CEO's job, people are saying you will have AI. You already have an AI people on board, and Albania has an AI minister. So all these things are going to happen. So all that will happen as AI gets more. So what will be left to you is what only humans can do, and therefore it becomes very important to understand what being human means. What are the implications? However, I don't want to scare you so much, so let me bring the less scary part. It's going to take time. You see, we are a huge country, we are a huge world. There are a lot of people, a lot of areas. Some areas in urban manufacturing, white collar jobs, maybe a little faster. Other areas, rural areas, panchayats, it will be slower.
So since you mentioned about jobs, I think one of the biggest concern that the youngsters have today, that AI is going to take away a lot of jobs. Is it true that it will? And if it will, then what are the other opportunities that will emerge as a consequence of emergence of AI?
Good. AI will take away jobs. Yes, but it's not yes and no answer. First, AI, the jobs that 10 people are doing, people with AI, a lesser number will do. So first stage is people using AI will replace people doing without AI. Second stage, AI will become a partner. So first stage you have AI as a tool. Second stage you have AI as a partner. So human and AI will work as colleagues. There will be distinct roles. And the third stage is AI does it independently. So the natural progression is, what kind of workforce will you have? You will have one part of the workforce where humans use AI. You will have a second part of the workforce where AI and humans work together. And third will be all automated. And therefore, there will be no human resource management, there will be workforce management. You see, the way I see organizations in the next 10 years, in 5 years you will see it actually. I'm talking a little future. In 5 years, 3 years, you'll see it happening. People are already losing jobs. Already, many of these big tech, in America, 50% people have been laid off by Microsoft. All of them are. And the interesting thing is, everybody says, no, it will create new jobs. Don't worry, all governments say the same thing. Big tech says the same thing. My question is simple. What new jobs? Because whatever it creates, most of them will be requiring intelligence of the IQ type. So, how many of the new jobs will actually humans will be able to do is a very dicey question. So, what is going to happen? That there will be loss of jobs that exist today. There will not be enough addition of jobs to compensate that loss. So there will have to be diversion of human beings to other activities. Now, if you were to take a positive view, actually this is a wonderful opportunity for you to actually realize your potential. See, all of them had great potential of things which, the friends of batchmates of mine who retired, great artists. Somebody has become a great gardener. Somebody has become a poet. So the idea is that human beings should do what is uniquely human. Loving, serving. Mother Teresa used to say love and serve. Now that is the kind of
that can't be done by AI. Loving and serving.
Fortunately not.
At least as of now we feel.
Fortunately not. And it wouldn't ever.
Emotions will never be replaced by
Hopefully. Again, that's a very dicey question, because if you ask me from a technical point of view, people are talking about a consciousness also. You're talking about AI being conscious. I don't want to go there because there's a lot
still in the realm of discussion.
Yes, discussion and speculation. But the fact remains that all your best memories in life, where do they come from? They come from human contact. Why Anil Swaroop has so many people following him? It is because of the human contact.
Using technology to reach out to them. So as you rightly said, they have to partner each other.
Yes,
Sir, let me take this argument a bit further. When technology arrived, so to say, technology has been arriving through centuries, different types of technologies. When computers arrived, there was this huge threat to employment in India. I distinctly remember I was in service, bankers went on strike that they would lose their jobs. A huge threat. But most of it didn't come through because, as you rightly said, they switched over to different type of assignment. And it's the switching over to the new requirement that's going to be the challenge, whether people who become jobless as a consequence of AI are able to re-equip themselves to be able to be available to the new type of jobs that will become available. So is my understanding correct? Yes, there will be job losses. But if the population or the people engaged in those jobs reorient themselves, reskill themselves, then probably the damage will not be as big as it is visualized at this point in time.
Let's look at the analogy or comparison you made between computers and AI. Computers no doubt created new kinds of jobs. So some jobs were lost and new jobs came, and the historical data shows that the number of jobs which came more than the jobs which were lost. So there will be more jobs, more productivity, more contribution to the quality of life and all that. However, AI is not a tool. It does not, unlike computer, it does not require you to do anything, at least it will not in another 2-3 years. At the moment, it's partly dependent on you, but it's capable of learning on its own. It's capable of modifying itself on its own, and it's capable of reproducing itself on its own and upgrading itself all the time on its own. So the question is, with that kind of AI, will this comparison stand? My logical analysis leads me to a conclusion which I don't like. The conclusion is, what is it that will be created as a new job? In fact, there are some terms which you use very interesting. This term, reskilling. People think reskilling means instead of doing this kind of office job, that kind of office job. Let me take you a little further into future since you want to venture in this area. Further down the line, and I don't think I should say it in front of this audience, but let me say it. The time will come, the jobs as we know will disappear. The fixed jobs for majority of people will not be there. So we have to redefine in our minds, instead of jobs, how are we engaged? And there are many, many positive things we can do, and we can someday sit and discuss detail. So the whole idea is, and this is a very big policy question, are you able to think ahead 5 to 10 years at least and say this is going to be the world in 10 years from now? 2035 is my favorite. In the 2035 world, this is what is going to happen. This is how the economy will run. This is how the jobs will be done, the work will be done. This is how it will be delivered. And within this is the role humans will have. This will require this number of X number of humans, which means from the present number minus X will be so-called loss of jobs. So there will be a very interesting situation. The existing people will lose jobs as they are doing already, and new people will not have jobs. Already IIT graduates are finding it a little more difficult to get jobs. This is only green shoots. This is nothing that you have not seen anything so far. This is going to happen. Now, therefore, what kind of reskilling is it? This is a reskilling based on being human again, that you have to think in human terms. When I talk to people on this, I find almost blank faces. Because we have from childhood being drilled. When I was a child, I was drilled, work hard. If you want to get somewhere, do this, do this, do this. It's career. Let me give you an example of career. When I sat with my father, or my son sat with me, he said, what you do? I said, do this, go to IIT, go to IIM, go to corporate sector. He did very well, he's very happy. His son has also gone into an engineering college, but I tell him it's waste. Because he will not have that career. Because you have to see the future. You have to visualize the future, Anil. Unless you visualize the future, and people are not willing to do that. Partly because the focus is on the present. Let me tackle today. I have a problem today. I have fires burning today. I can't think of the future. Fine. By the time you'll think of the future, it will be too late. The other is, future is very scary. You prefer not to think of something so uncomfortable. But what people miss, future can be so beautiful. It can be so beautiful, including for the jobs. But you should know, you should have good, and you not only as an individual, you as a nation, as a society, should have a good sense of what's going to happen. I don't know how much of it will I'm getting across, but there's something which needs to be done.
Let me be a bit more specific, since the large part of the audience that is watching this are aspirants to civil service. How do you see AI impacting governance or administration?
In a big way. In a big way. And I am not aware of any government in the world preparing for that. Why? Because governance systems are huge systems. And by definition and legacy, they tend to be inert and slow moving all over the world. I will not call them reactive. Many of them are proactive. But the speed is less and the concerns are more immediate. Because they have to, if there's poverty, if there's hunger, if there's some law and order problem, I mean, obviously that has to take precedence. Obviously, that's what the future will see.
So let's look at the positive part of it. The current problems, let's assume that there are current problems. My personal experience tells me that AI can be extremely helpful in handling those problems in a number of ways, both in terms of analysis, in working out projections. So you can actually solve a lot many problems. As I look at AI can be in a very, you said it's not a tool. I would believe that can be used as a phenomenal tool for making me understand the issue first and then coming out with an analysis. I'll give you an example. Mr. Trump, I asked this question of the AI there. Mr. Trump imposed these duties and now He's imposed other restrictions on Indian techies going to US, $100,000 per annum. So I asked AI, what should India do? And you can't imagine the suggestions they have come up with. Brilliant, absolutely. And if somebody gets down to doing it, I think we may not solve the entire problem. We would have handled some of them. And this happened in seconds. I just had to put it on ChatGPT. And if I were to do it on my own through a variety of research, it would have taken me at least a couple of days to come to the paper that they gave me. So when I look at AI, and I keep saying that like any technology, AI is a tool. It may evolve itself or whatever. But so long as it remains a tool, it could be beneficial to us. If it is not a tool or it's going on its own, then I don't know what will happen. And I won't even discuss that because I don't know what is going to happen. I would rather discuss things which I know can happen, and maybe that could be used. But let's leave that aside. As I said, there are so many aspirants to civil service watching this video. Would you like to send a message to them?
Okay. Now, the first thing is, I obviously conveyed a wrong impression. I said AI is not just a tool. Probably I worded it in a way So I probably said it is not a tool. What I meant was not a tool alone. It's not just a tool.
Yeah.
It is to begin with a tool, but it is more than a tool. So if probably for your audience, they should look at it AI as a tool plus.
Correct.
And the self-will part of will come in the future. When as a futurist, I always tend to look at the future. Now, interestingly, your audience is looking at their future in the present. So what is it that they want to create a future of their choice? But they want to do something today for it. If they want to appear in the civil service exam, that is today, which will give them a particular kind of future. Now, I did this thing with some young people. I ran a workshop, which I called Making Dreams Come True. I think this fits in what you are saying. Here are these young people, they have dreams. Now, I talked to them. I had a group discussion, I had one-to-one discussions. The first thing which emerged clearly, many of them did not really know what their dream was. That even those who thought they knew their dream actually had wrong notions about what it would mean. Now, for instance, IAS. I mean, you and I both have served our term in IAS, and we have a good fix on how it operates and what's going to happen. And we have also, very importantly, seen, I mean, I from 72 now, it's more than 50 years, right? I've seen how it has changed. So when I entered IAS, I could see a certain kind of thing happening. It kept on changing, but today, what is going to happen for the next 20 years is going to be very, very different. So anyone in your audience who is starting with a view of IAS as it is perceived by them today, this is another difference. What IAS is when you're working in it in a system today, and what it is perceived to be from an outsider is again different. But whatever it is today will also change. So the whole idea of this dream, making dreams come true, is to take you through an exercise which you do the analysis yourself. It is not even an AI-driven exercise, though it is AI-assisted.
Analysis part.
Yes, analysis. And I totally agree with you. The kind of analysis that it does, the kind of gathering of information it does. I mean, if you are, those who are using it, if they are told that you can't use it, suddenly they will feel absolutely helpless. Yes. And they've got used to certain amount of assistance and pace and the speed with which you do. So what your audience need to realize that if they're thinking of IAS or IPS or any other service, it's going to be different. But coming to what will happen when they get into government, governance is going to be very different. Their roles will be very different. And despite the fact that government jobs will always, presumably always, be safer than private jobs, they are not going to be. And you're already seeing the signs of that. You say, those who are not good should be compulsory retirement. Now, the other part is, in the IAS also, the positions that you are coveted, which people are looking for, are few. So let's say 20 to 25% is the thing, and that is what your audience is looking at. Again, with those misconceptions, we'll keep that apart. 75% of them are not what they think they are going to be. So this whole thing, I would say to your audience, please analyze. And then the next stage will be whatever your dream, because I don't want to make it focused to only IAS. Whatever your dream is, once you are clear about your dream, and AI can help you, and I took some of those youngsters this exercise, then what is the technology you require? Because that is the second thing. Whatever you do, if you are not tech savvy, you are not going to succeed. You have to master your technology. You have to master your technology, not in the sense of knowing the technology part of it. And that's very important. Anil, incidentally, let me make this point to you. To use AI, you don't need to know AI. I have been driving my car for 50 years plus, right? I don't know a damn thing about the engine. I mean, if I'm able to open the bonnet, that's pretty good, right?
That's the beauty of technology. You don't have to really know the technology.
Precisely.
All you have to do is to know how to use it.
When I say master technology, are two things. How to use it and how to make sure that you don't get used. So this whole question of data and all that is about being used. But more than that, the danger. Once you start using ChatGPT or any of the others, you may tend to delegate the thinking part more and more,
Correct.
and it is already happening.
Thinking, analysis, processing, everything goes
Everything. I'm telling you, I have a good global network of experts. So people I've known for years. So one of them I told last year that, you know, not only the quality of what you say has gone down, the way you write it, I don't want to read it. Because a typical product tends to be sanitized. It doesn't have life. Of course, there are ways of bringing life to it. The point I'm trying to say that you need to understand. Once you understand, then you have to master. And that's
Sir,
the
to
key.
give you a more simple example here, when calculators came, the calculation skills of those that were using calculator was gone. Like in India, you can still calculate mentally. You go to the Western world, they can't multiply, they can't do anything. So this is just a small example of what AI can do. It can take away certain faculties of yours, analytical faculties and other faculties, and leave you just with emotions, which of course is important. But there are other faculties that one must have. So when you produce something, it has an emotional contact, it has an intellectual contact. And if you farm it out, everything to artificial intelligence, then you are left with nothing, only with emotions. And that probably may not be good for the humanity as a whole. So as you rightly said, AI, like any other technology, has to be used as a partner, as a facilitator, as an enabler. And if it becomes a conqueror, then we are in trouble. But we should be aware of the fact that if we are oblivious of what is going on, if you're oblivious of what is going to happen in the future, then probably it will become the conqueror and we could all be in trouble.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much for these kind words, for these words of wisdom, for these words that explain to us what AI is all about, what the potential it has, what are its threats, and how we can make the best out of it. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us.
Thank you, Anil. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
StudyIQ IAS, आपका सिलेक्शन हमारा मिशन।